I just posted this New-to-UOB credit card offer where you could get 50,000 miles by just signing up for their UOB PRVI, AMEX, Visa or Mastercard in my Telegram group of over 10,000 members, and that's where I share my best credit card deals and promotions. So join us if you haven't. And it sounds like a really good offer because all you have to do is to spend 1,000 Singapore dollars per month consecutively for 2 months from the card approval date, and you have to pay the annual fee and you will receive 45,200 miles. Then you will get an additional 4,800 miles when you make a $1,000 per month overseas transaction for 2 consecutive months. And let me calculate the total rewards and cash flow, because the total outflow of cash will be $2,000 spent, because $1,000 per month times 2 plus that $260 worth of first year annual fee. So you come up to around $2,300, which is your cash outflow, and then your rewards inflow. You'll get 50,000 miles from UOB. So you pay $2,300 and you get 50,000 miles, and you still get your goods and services. You can go and calculate what is the value and the cents per mile calculation and all that, and it will sound like a really good deal. But you know what's an even better deal, which is the sponsor of today's message. Have you heard? Webull just upsized their fund any amount deal where you can win rewards worth up to $3,000. If you want to learn more about investing, then do check out Webull's Learning Center to find the information you need, and you will be able to learn about Webull's features, investment strategies, and technical terms to enrich your trading knowledge, which you can apply instantly. So you see, Webull is not just a trading app itself, it also functions as an education hub for you to improve your knowledge so that you can learn how to trade and invest better with the Webull app. For example, I just learned that there is such a thing called emotional trading, where it's when investors make trading decisions completely based on their emotions, ignoring trading strategies. And you can also learn how to avoid emotional trading via Webull Learn. There are even mini quizzes which you can participate in to test your knowledge on how good you are in investing. For new to Webull customers, the terms and conditions are rather straightforward. All you have to do, fund any amount and maintain that fund for 30 days. And you will get a total of 6 free shares, with each free shares ranging from $10 to $500. So if you want to win all these attractive rewards and use Webull for investing, sign up with my referral link down below or scan this QR code right here to get your Webull account today. Now you realize that I didn't bother to share about the fee waiver option because it has this nonsense terms and conditions where only the first 200 new to UOB customers who applied will be eligible, which means that if you chose the fee waiver version, you have to think for yourself whether you are early enough to hit that first 200. And by the time you're watching this video, probably you're not within the 200 already. So for people like myself, I don't want to take such risks. I rather go for the fee paying option and get the 50,000 confirm miles when I hit my spending target. Just so you know, this is a standard UOB style promotion where the first XXX number of applications will get the rewards. So if you're going through the fee paying option, you will avoid all these nonsense terms and conditions and get your guaranteed rewards. But having said all of that, that is not the point of the video. The point of today's video is because I have noticed this wording on the UOB previous website, where it says that you can use the 50,000 miles to redeem for 2 economy flight tickets from Singapore to Bali 2 ways for 2 person. Especially if you are really new to this air miles game, how do you even evaluate and calculate the value of 50,000 air miles? And I'll walk through with you in this video how you could use the Singapore Airlines KrisFlyer award chart to really calculate whether 50,000 miles is worth it for you to sign up. Okay, the first step is to explain the KrisFlyer award chart, and all you have to do is to Google for this KrisFlyer award chart, and it will probably pop up as the first search. So under this PDF file, you will find advantage rates and saver rates. So advantage rates are at the top, saver rates are at the bottom. Advantage basically means that it is a non-discounted rate and there's more availability. Savers is much cheaper, maybe up to 50%, but the availability is much lesser. And then on the vertical column, we have the origin, which zone 1 is where Singapore is. And then on the horizontal rows, we have the destination. So if you know how to read a table, basically you choose your origin and then you select your destination, then you match these two together, that will be the total amount of air miles required. So if you're looking at our promotion example, Singapore to Bali, Bali is situated in Indonesia, which is in zone 2. So origin zone 1 Singapore, destination zone 2 Indonesia. From zone 1 to zone 2, that will require 50,000 miles per wave on advantage rate. So 2 ways will be 30,000 KrisFlyer miles. So I must say that the advertisement on UOB previous website is factually correct, because with 30,000 miles, you could redeem on advantage from Singapore to Bali and you still have 20,000 miles left over. And how you can redeem these flights is that you have to sign up for a Singapore Airlines KrisFlyer account. Once you have logged in, select redeem flights and then select Singapore to Denpasar Bali Airport. My chosen dates is just 3 months from now, January 2024, which is considered an off-peak season after the December holidays. And you can see that if you want to redeem advantage flights, that will be 15,000 miles per week. So 2 ways 30,000, which is correct. But wait a minute, that is just on the advantage rates, which is non-discounted. Is there a better deal out there? Because if you look back at the KrisFlyer award chart and scroll to the bottom, you will see the savers rate. And this time from Zone 1 to Zone 2, Singapore to Indonesia, it does not require 15,000 miles per way anymore, but almost half price at 8,500 miles per way. So 2 ways will be 17,000 miles. And if you were to cross-check to the Singapore Airlines booking portal via redeem flights, same dates on January 2024, you will realize that it costs a total of 17,000 air miles for Sin to Denpasar return flight on savers rate. That's almost a good 50% off. And you see 50,000 air miles divided by 17,000 air miles, that's almost 3 times you can fly it. Of course, if you're really that calculative, you will still lack 1,000 miles because 17 times 3, that's 51,000. And how can you get 1,000 miles? That's where you should start using Kris Plus app. Because if you haven't signed up for Kris Plus, you can sign up with my referral code and you can get some KrisPay miles as a new sign up. But what KrisPay really does is that it gives you additional miles on top of your normal retail or dining spend. For example, this year in May, I went to Woolloomooloo during one of the promotion and I got like additional 12 miles per dollar. That's on top of your credit card, you know. But I would say that for normal rates, if you can earn an additional 3 miles per dollar on Kris Plus and then after that transfer those miles to your KrisFlyer account, I think that's good enough. So if you want 1,000 air miles divided by 3, slightly more than $330 of spending would get you that 1,000 additional miles. And now you may have this question in your head. If everyone can redeem for saver rates, which is at discount rates, then why would anyone go and redeem for advantage rates? I can answer you quite honestly that saver rates are much more difficult to find availability because they usually exist on off-peak periods and maybe during weekdays instead of weekends because they also follow the demand and supply. Many people have high demand for saver rates, so they tend to be booked up quite fast. And when all the saver rates on these popular flight routes are book finished, then they will be left with the advantage. That's why some people, they die have to travel on the advantage rates. But I want to move on to the next point because even savers rate may not be the best deal. If you are flexible enough to wait for the monthly KrisFlyer spontaneous escapes where they publish even more discounted rates than saver rates every month, then you can see whether your intended flight route is eligible for the spontaneous escapes discounted rate. And more recently is the KrisFlyer Global Redemption Sale, where they give 25% off economy redemptions worldwide. But that was only valid for a very short period till 22 October. So if you're watching this video, most likely it's over already. And you can see that on that promo rate is only 6,375 miles per week. So for a return flight to Bali, that will be 12,750 miles. Then if you were to use that 51,000 air miles, you could fly 4 packs instead of 1 pax. But like I said, all these promo rates, they are very time limited and they are very location limited, which means that you have to be really flexible on your travel dates. And that includes your travel partners as well, whether they are okay to travel to that destination in that specific date with that specific flight route and time. So if you're new to the miles game, there's a whole lot of variations that you could play with. But most advanced miles people, they only think about redeeming for business class seats. But on the contrary, I felt that with inflation going on, especially on airfares, maybe some of these economy flight routes are getting more attractive. Because if we were to look at the cash rates for that Sin to Bali during January 2024, the most expensive ticket is around $474. And if you compare that to my economy flight redemptions on savers rate, which is 17,000 air miles plus $83 in taxes, I'll calculate for you how much is the value of the mile. Because all you have to do is to take the cash rate, which is $476, minus the taxes of $83, divide by the 17,000 air miles, which will give you a value of 2.3 cents per mile. And I felt that anything above 2 cents per mile for redemptions is a very good rate. So not necessary you have to only redeem your air miles for business class and above flights. I felt that for some destinations like Bali, especially if it's a daytime flight and the flight dates are good for you, maybe you can consider economy redemptions as well. And I do have a specific on air miles calculation right here where I compare miles versus cashback and how you can really calculate your own value of your miles. Check this out.